कुंज बिहारी राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन व्रजनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन रञ्जन यमुना तेरा वनचारी यमुना तेरा वनचारी हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राम Radhe Madhava Radha Madhava Radha Jaya Krishna Balaram Jaya Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Jaya Krishna Balaram Krishna Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Om Vishnupad Brahms Parivrajika Acharya Ashtotter Satasya Simat Abhay Charanarvind Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Samasta Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Nitai Gaur Premanande Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayeshvabhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama Bhaktir Bhavati Naistaki. Hare Krishna. I welcome all of you for today's Bhakti Vaibhava class. Yesterday we finished till 25th sloka of the 5th chapter of the 5th canto. So we'll continue today from 26 onwards. 2 more slokas are there in Vrishabhadev's teachings to his sons. So 26 and 27. Then after that, Shukadev Goswami is going to narrate the further story. So okay, after teaching, so what Vrishabhadev did, those things we'll be discussing. Then we'll finish this chapter. Then after that, finishing of the chapter. So we'll be starting 6th chapter and only few till 9th sloka we'll be seeing. So that means Vrishabhadev, how he left his body. Prabhu, voice is properly audible online? Okay. Okay. Okay, so Vrishabhadev mainly what he was teaching? He was teaching about the Gnana, Vairagya and Bhakti. These things we have seen. So how to live? So how to Linga Deham? That means how to destroy the Linga Deham. That means Ahankara. So you have to cut down the Ahankara. So that how it can be done? What are the different sadhanas one should practice to get the Gnan ki talwar? That means so the sword of knowledge. So then after that, Bhakti sadhanas. So he also explained about the further continuation of Bhakti sadhanas. So after continuing these Bhakti sadhanas, what will happen? One can marriage into the Brahman. So then, and also he is explaining Bhakti is So ultimately, one has to, that means Guru, Father, especially first he said that Guru and King, he has to, they both to disciples and their citizens, they should teach about these bhakti sadhanas. He said, and whoever is not delivering, even Guru and the otherwise Swajanaha, that means relatives, father, mother. So they are not those. If they are not able to deliver their corresponding relationship, then they are not at all those. They are not qualified to be called as Guru, wife, or mother, or father, or whatever. So that we have seen. Then after that we have seen Brahmanas are superior to all the living entities, and then he established Vaishnavas are so even superior to the Brahmanas. That discussion is over till 25th. Next 26. Sarvani madishnayataya bhavadbis charani bhutani sutadhruvani sambhavitavyani pade padevo vivikta drugbhistad taduharhanam me. Akinjan Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
My dear sons, you should not envy any living entity, be he moving or non-moving. Knowing that I am situated in them, you should offer respect to all of them at every moment. In this way, you offer respect to me.
Yeah. If one wants to come out from the enviousness and pride, what one should do? One has to start respecting all the living entities. So how to respect all the living entities? You have to see Paramatma in them. With that understanding, one should respect. So this kind of discussion we have seen previously, where Kapil Dev's teaching, what is said there? Why one has to worship that Bhutadaya? One should have the compassion for the living entities. Why? Mike.
Telling Kapil Dev, somebody is worshipping me, but is not respecting the living entity or worshipping the devotees. He's like offering oblations into ash, so useless. And after that, he's giving ahead one after another stages person. So like that, somebody is like, I'm not able to remember that three words are there. So my belly is under belly is just like food is like somebody is differentiate the
Udara Bhedam.
Udara Bhedam. Advice lesson, there is a different categories of like that, more severe like that. So here one should not just like path prathak drishti, one should not have prathak bheda. So this is useless.
Yeah, Kapil Dev said about the worshipping the living entities in the context of Kanishta Bhakta.
Yes.
So Kanishta Bhakta is not able to see Supreme Lord in every living entity. So to get that, so that means to progress, what he has to do, at least with the understanding that Paramatma is there in every living entity, with that understanding, he should serve all the living entities as the Adhisthana of those living entities, of the Supreme Lord. Then what will happen? Then he will develop that knowledge. So that is the recommendation is done by the Kapila Bhagavan. So for the Kanishtas. And also he said that since they didn't get the complete Shraddha, so they has to do their prescribed duties also. Yes. Okay. So same way here, Rishabhadev is also saying that if one wants to come out from the enviousness and the competition spirit, so this kind of things, then one has to serve the living entities. Generally, we have the tendency of having the enviousness towards the other living entities. So that's why many times you might be seeing people, so they will be having the stone and unnecessarily they'll hit the nearby animals. This will happen. Yeah, spardha and avagnadi dosha sunyartham, shantyartham. Spardha avagna. Avagna means disrespecting. So one has the nature of disrespecting and unnecessarily enviousness. So for this kind of people, so what is needed? Sarva bhutanam sammananam vidatte. They has to worship all the living entities. My dear sons, you should not envy any living entity to be moving or non-moving. Knowing that I am situated in them, you should offer respect to all of them at every moment. In this way, you offer respect to me. So, purport in this verse, the word vivikta dirgbihi, meaning without envy, is used. All the living entities are the abode of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in this Paramatma feature. As confirmed in the Brahma Samhita, Andantarastham Paramanu Chayantarastham, the Lord is situated in this universe as Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu and Sirodaka Sai Vishnu. Prabhupada is telling about Lord is presenting. So you have three levels of Paramatmas. So Karanarno Sai Vishnu is the controller of Prakriti. Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu is the controller of the Brahmanda. And Kshirodaka Sai Vishnu is the controller of so each and every living entity. So like this, we have three levels of the controllers and they are everywhere, all pervasive. So in that, here anyway, an advanced devotee will offer respect to everyone, even to cats and dogs. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastini Suni Chaiva Swapake Cha Pandita Samadarshina. So here Madhvacharya is writing, one who has clear vision and who is devoid of envy can see the Supreme Lord is separate from all living entities, although he is situated in every living entity. Madhvacharya further quotes that from Padma Purana, Upapadayet Paramatmanam Jivebhyo Yah Pade Pade Bhede Naivacha Chait Samat Priyo Vishnostu Kaschana. One who sees the living entity and the Supreme Lord as always distinct is very dear to the Lord. So as one become advanced devotee, so he can see everywhere, every living entity as a shelter for his Ishta Devata, like that they see. Next, Mano Vacho Drukkarnetihasas Hitasya Sakshat Kritam Me Paribarhanam Hi Vinapuman Yena Mahavimoha Krutanta Pashana Vimoktume Hajve. Translation, Bhaugrahi Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. The true activity of the sense organs, mind, sight, words, and all the knowledge gathering and working senses, is to engage fully in my service. Unless his senses are thus engaged, a living entity cannot think of getting out of the great entanglement of material existence, which is exactly like Yamaraja's stringent rope.
Okay. So what is said, without bhakti, one will not get liberation. This is the point is said. Yes. Na vimoktum ishet. That means one is not able to become free, but without doing the sakshat bhakti. So samasena bhakteha lakshanam tam tamcha vina nirast nistarabhavam cha vadan upasamharati. So that means one has to engage his mind, his speech, and his vision, everything, all the senses in the service of the Lord. So without that vina, that means without that bhakti, one is not liberated. Liberation is not possible without bhakti. So Prabhupada is writing in the purport, Sarvopadvinur Muktam Tat Pravartakatvena Paratvenaiva Nirmalam Hrishikena Hrishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Richate. So by engaging, this is the even in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, you can see after the Anyabhilasha Sunyam, this is the sloka is given as the explanation for the Anyabhilasha Sunyam. So Lord Rishabhadev has been stressing devotional service, and now he is concluding by saying that all the senses should be engaged in the Lord's service. This is the conclusion actually. So till now Rishabhadev is told about the Gnana, Vairagya, and also Bhakti. So finally he is concluding. So Bhakti, without Bhakti, even one cannot get the the liberation. So we have a big question or no? One second. Okay. So see in that question bank, question is there or no? Summarize the Lord Rishabhadev's activities after he accepted. Acha. Only 2 questions? We should increase the question bank. Huh? We? We took till now in 5th chapter. Acha, good. But in the old question bank, we have only few questions. We should make question bank also. It means parallelly. What is the conclusion of Vrishabhadev's teachings? Write the question. What is the conclusion of Vrishabhadev's teachings? What is that? This verse in the purport. So Lord Vrishabhadev has been stressing devotional service and how he is concluding by saying that all the senses should be engaged in Lord's service. There are 5 senses wise. You should write purport of this. Sarvabhadi. 2 marks. Next, Sri Sukha Vacha. Evam anushasyaatmajan swayam anusishtanapi lokanushashanartham mahanubhavaha parama suhrid bhagavan rishabhapadesha upashamashilanam uparata karmanam mahamuninam bhakti gnana vairagya lakshanam paramaham sadharmam upasikshamanaha swatanaya shatajeshtam parama bhagavatam bhagavad jana parayanam bharatam dharani palanayabhishinchya swayam bhavan evorvirita sharirmatra parigraha unmatta iva gagana paridhanaha parikirna kesha atmanyaropitahawaniyo brahmavartat pravraja. Radha Gordon Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Sukdev Goswami said, thus the great well-wisher of everyone, the Supreme Lord Rishabdev, instructed his own sons. Although they were perfectly educated and cultured, he instructed them just to set an example of how a father should instruct his sons before retiring from family life. Sannyasis who are no longer bound by fruitive activity and who have taken to devotional service after all their material desires have been vanquished also learn by these instructions. Lord Rishabdev instructed his 100 sons, of whom the eldest, Bharat, was a very advanced devotee and a follower of Vaishnavas. In order to rule the whole world, the Lord enthroned his eldest son on the royal seat. Thereafter, although still at home, Lord Rishabdev lived like a madman, naked, and with disheveled hair. Then the Lord took the sacrificial fire within himself, and he left Brahmavarth to tour the whole world.
Yes, bro. Thank you, bro.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. So much noise it's doing, huh? Yeah, thank you, bro. So after this, what he did after teachings, he became Avadut. Avadut, how he dresses? He will dress air as a dress, and all his hair is air as a dress, and hair is completely left over, and no bathing, nothing, completely naked body. And wherever the route is going, he keep on walking. He doesn't have any destination, walking. And like this. So left his kingdom. Before that, what he did, he appointed his eldest son, that's Bharata Maharaj, as the emperor, of Ajnaba. Yes. Bharatavarsha. Bharatavarsha. So why he made him only as emperor? Because he is a pure devotee. Because of this reason. And what instructions he gave about the Bharatamara so to his sons? He told to all his sons they should follow him. Everyone should follow. Actually, instructions given to Lord Rishabhadev's sons were not exactly meant for his sons because they were already educated and highly advanced in knowledge. Rather, these instructions were meant for sannyasis who intended to become advanced devotees. Sannyasis must abide by Lord Rishabhadev's instructions while on the path of devotional service. Lord Rishabhadev retired from family life and lived like a naked madman, even while still with his family. But our sannyasis are not like this. Huh? Like Rishabhadev, they are. No. Why? If they become like Rishabhadev, then they cannot do preaching because time is now changed. So that's why adjustments are needed. If everyone they became naked, it's not good, no, actually. Jains, yeah, they will be coming actually. Your maternal branch. Huh? Offshoot. Offshoot. So he was teaching the Vrishabhadev taught all the exemplaries. He set example for brahmacharis. That means he went to Gurukul and he showed how a brahmachari should be. Then after that he entered into Gruhastha life. He set the examples how one should be in a Gruhastha life and also sannyasi's life. So how one has to become a mendicant. So that also he described. Next, Jadanda Muka Badira Pishachonmada Kavat Avadhuta Veshaha Avibhashyamanopi Jananam Gruhita Mauna Vrata Tushnim Babhuva. So Nityamukund Prabhu.
Sorry, can you tell the verse number? Which verse?
29.
After accepting the feature of Avadhut, a great saintly person without material cares, Lord Rishabdev passed through human society like a blind, deaf, and dumb man, an idle stone, a ghost, or a madman. Although people called him such names, he remained silent and did not speak to anyone.
Yeah. So how he was like a madman, like a blind, deaf. Same things you will be seeing in the case of Avanti Brahman in the 11th canto. He was also same. Kanjus Brahman. So then after that, so he left his home. So how he was treated, people was putting stone on him, throwing stone on him, and insulting and spitting, urinating on him. In his plate, they were urinating like that. Same. Here also. And in the case of Jadabharat also you can see same. Avadutas are there. Avanti Brahman. Here in the 5th canto, this Jadabharat, Rishabhadev, like this, many are there, many examples. The word Avaduta refers to the one who doesn't care for social conventions, particularly the Varnashram Dharma. However, such a person may be situated fully within himself and be satisfied. Yeah. In other words, one who has surpassed the rules and regulations of Varna is called Avaduta. Such a person has, right? What is the meaning of Avaduta? We should make questions now. We don't have questions. Next. Tatra tatra puragrama kara ketavata karka ketavata karvata shibira vraja ghosha sardagiri vanashrama dishu anupatham avanichara avanichara sadaihi paribhuyamano makshikabiriva vanagajastarjana tadanava mehana stivana gravasha krudraja prakshepa putivata duruktaih tad viganayanneva asat samsthana etasmin dehopalakshane sadapadesha ubayanubhava स्वरूपेण स्वमहिमावस्थानेन अससार असमारोपिताहं मम अभिमानत्वाद् अविखण्डित मनाः पृथ्वीं एकचरः परिभ्रामा. Translation. Rashtrapadev began to tour through cities, villages, mines, countrysides, valleys, gardens, military camps, cowpens mean cow sheds, the homes of cowherdmen, transient hotels, hills, forests, and hermitages. Whatever he traveled, all bad elements surrounded by him, just as flies surrounded the body of an elephant coming from the forest. He was always being threatened, beaten, urinated upon, and spat upon. Sometimes people threw stones, stool, and dust at him, and sometimes people passed foul air before him. Thus, people called him many bad names and gave him a great deal of trouble. But he didn't care about this, for he surrounded that the body is simply meant for such an end. He was situated on the spiritual platform, and being in his spiritual glory, he didn't care for all these material insults. In other words, he completely understood that matter and spirit are separate, and he had no bodily conception. Thus, without being angry at anyone, he walked through the whole world alone. Okay, how he was traveling is explained. So he was mistreated by everyone, like Jadabharata also. So was mistreated the same way. So Narottam Das Thakur says that Deha Smriti Nahi Yara Samsara Bandhana Kahana Tara. When a person fully realizes the material body and the world are temporary, he is not concerned with pain and pleasure of the body. So Prabhupada is explaining in this Matra Sparshastu Kaunteya. What about devotees? Devotees also should do like this, Avadut. There is no need to become Avadut. This is not meant for devotees. We don't follow. So Rishabhadev or otherwise Dattatreya or Jadabharat. This is not recommended for us. This is not the time to do this. In the Kali Yuga is only the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So 24 hours one should engage himself in doing the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. This is not recommended. Avadut, becoming Avadut. Yeah.
Although it is not recommended, what lesson one should learn, just like from Jad Bharat and other things. So many lessons are there to be also learned by devotee. Like,
how he left the family life and retirement. One has to leave the post and position at the certain time of, so and fully focus on the spirituality, and how he spent his time in his grostha life. You can see, so he has 100 sons and he trained all of them in spirituality as a respectful father. So that lesson also you can learn. And so his teachings, we can see he was explaining so various important points for the spiritual life. So like this. अति सुकुमार कर चरणोः स्थल विपुल बह्वांस गलवदनाद्यवयव विन्यासः प्रकृति सुंदर स्वभावाः सुमुखो नव नलिल नदलायाम अनाशिष र तारा रुणायत नयन रुचिरः सदृश सुभग कपोल कर्ण कंठ नासो विगूढ़ विगूढ़ स्मित वदन महोत्सवेन पुनरवनितनां मनसि कुसुम शरासन उपदधानः परागवलंबमान कुटिल जटिल कपिश केश भूरिभारो अवधूत मलिन निज शरीरेण ग्रह गृहीत इव अदृश्यता. Translation: Lord Rishabhadev's hands, feet, and chest were very long. His shoulders, face, and limbs were all very delicate and systematically proportioned. His mouth was beautifully decorated with his natural smile, and he appeared all the more lovely with his reddish eyes spread wide like the petals of a newly grown lotus flower covered with the dew in the early morning. The irises of his eyes were so pleasing that they removed all the troubles of everyone who saw him. His forehead, ears, neck, nose, and all his other features were very beautiful. His gentle smile always made his face beautiful, so much so that he even attracted the hearts of married women. It was as though they had been pierced by arrows of Cupid. About his head was an abundance of curly, matted brown hair. His hair was disheveled because his body was dirty and not taken care of. He appeared as if he were haunted by ghost. So how his body was appearing is explained next. Yerhivavasa Bhagavan Lokamimam Yogasyadha Pratima Pratipamiva Chakshanas Tat Pratikriya Karma Vibhatsitam Iti Vratam Ajagaram Astitaha Shayana Eva Ashnati Pibati Kadatyavamehati Adati Sma Chestamana Uchariti Adi Gadhodesha Dogdesha Adigdogdesha. Translation: when Lord Rishabhadev saw that the general populace was very antagonistic to his execution of mystic yoga, he accepted the behavior of Python in order to counteract their opposition. Thus he stayed in one place and lay down. While lying down, he ate and drank, and he passed stool and urine and rolled in it. Indeed, he smeared his whole body with his own stool and urine so that opposing elements might not come and disturb him. Okay. According to one's destiny, one enjoys allotted happiness and distress, even though one keeps himself in one place. This is the injunction of the Shastra. Ajigar Vritti, it's taking the whole of ants and living there. Whatever is available, it always opens its mouth and looking. Anything comes in front of it, he'll grab and eat it. It will not go for hunting like other animals. Always is hanging to some tree or sitting so beside to the some stone and keep on waiting on that root. Some animal may come and it can be food for them, food for it. This is Ajigarurti, like this, because people were not at all interested in the practicing this bhakti, this. So what Rishabhadev wants to teach. So that's why, and also in opposition, they are used to fight with him. They used to tease him, beat him. So that's why to counteract that, he became now Ajigar. like Ajigar. He accepted the Ajigara Vritti. When Rishabhadev saw that he was simply being disturbed by traveling throughout the world, he decided to lie down in one place like a python. Prabhupada is writing in this purport. This is the injunction of Shastra. When one is spiritually situated, he may stay in one place and all his necessities will be supplied by the arrangement of supreme control. Unless one is preacher, there is no need to travel all over the world. A person can stay in one place and execute devotional service suitably according to time and circumstances. Only for preachers. Has to travel. Sthane sthita. That means one being situated in one own place and has to practice his devotion. Tasyaha Purisha Surabhi Saugandhya Vayus Tam Desham Dashayojanam Samantat Surabhim Chakara. Because Lord Rashvadev remained in that condition, the public didn't disturb him, but no bad aroma emanated from his stool and urine. Quite the contrary, his stool and urine were so aromatic that they filled 80 miles of the countryside with a pleasant fragrance. Evam go mruga kaka charyaya vrajan tishtan asinah shayanah kaka mruga go charitah pibati kadat yavamehati sma. In this way, the Lord Rashvadev followed the behavior of cows, deer, and crows. Sometimes he removed or walked, and sometimes he sat down in one place. Sometimes he lay down, behaving exactly like cows, deer, and crows. In that way, he ate, drank, passed stool and urine, and cheated the people in this way. Same, Jadabharat also cheated. He was very intelligent and he knows everything, but still he cheated. So he acted like a dumb. So similarly here, to save from the society, so Rishabhadev was also is cheating actually. Next, iti nana yoga charya charano Bhagavan kaivalya patir Rishabho virata parama mahananda atmani sarvesham bhutanam atmabhute bhagavati vasudeve atmano vyavadhanantaroradhara bhavena siddham samastartha paripurnah yogeshwarani vaya vaihaya mano uja vantardhana parakaya pravesha dura grahanadin yadruchayopagatani na anjasa rupa hrudayena abhyanandat. Finally, O King Parikshit, so just to show all the yogis the mystic process, Lord Rishabhadev, the partial expansion of Lord Krishna, performed wonderful activities. Actually, he was the master of liberation and was fully absorbed in transcendental bliss, which increased 1,000-fold. Lord Krishna, Vasudeva, the son of the Vasudeva, is the original source of Lord Rishabhadev. There is no difference in their constitution, and consequently, Lord Rishabhadev awakened the loving symptoms of crying, laughing, and shivering. He was always absorbed in transcendental love. Due to this, all mystic powers automatically approached him, such as the ability to travel in outer space at the speed of mind, to appear and disappear, to enter the bodies of others, to see things far, far away. Although he could do all this, he didn't exercise these powers. So because Rishabhadev followed the devotion and strictly he controlled his mind. So once the mind is controlled, then so one he started getting the different siddhis. So various siddhis is explained. But Rishabhadev didn't encourage, that means didn't accept those siddhis. He is not affected by those siddhis. Thing is it? What? Holiday? Finish? चले जाए? The word Shanta means completely peaceful. What is said in the Chaitanya Charitamrita? Krishna Bhakta Nishkama Athaiva Shanta Bhakti Mukti Siddhi Kami Shakalai Ashanta. So one who is desiring Bhakti, Mukti and Siddhis. In Bhakti Rasam Sindhu also is explained. So one who is desiring for the Mukti and Siddhi, this is also obstacle for the pure devotion. Anyabhilasha Sunya. Prabhupada is writing, you see. A pure devotee is completely free from all kinds of material desires, even the siddhis. You all know all these. What should I speak actually? Something is new is there, then difficult thing. Huh? Go ahead, yeah. What is next chapter? Does end the Bhaktivedanta purports of fifth chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam title. That is the teaching is sufficient. Chalo, next chapter. Rajo Vacha. Nanunam Bhagava Atma Ramanam Yoga Samirita Gnana Gnanavavarjita Karma Bijanam Aishwaryani Punaha Kleshadini Bhavitumarhanti Yadruchayopa Gatani. So after this, Vrashvadev is huh? Bad. Huh? Huh? That's it. So what that means, in the previous sloka we have seen Vrashvadev is not at all accepting the siddhis, whatever he got. So why he is not, why he didn't accept that? What is the reasons? So why then Vrashvadev neglect them? So this is the question asked by the Parikshit. So in this chapter, what we are going to learn? So mainly how to control the mind, because here topic is deviated actually. So these sages, sorry, these elevated devotees, they don't, that means expert devotees, they don't get attraction for the siddhis. While practicing Ashtanga Yoga or Bhakti also, once the heart is purified, you will start getting the siddhis. After Anardhani Vritti also, you will get the siddhis. After Anardhani Vritti, yeah, you start getting the siddhis. So, but those siddhis, if you, Anima, Lagima, Mahima, all these will come. Once the heart is purified, started manifesting those siddhis. Yeah. So, if you are getting, then you tell me. We get.
Because it is obstacle in devotional service.
Yeah.
So Lord protect them by not giving siddhi, because one may misuse the siddhi, or devotee doesn't want to misuse, and even so, one may think one may use the siddhi for devotional service. So whether he will get or he will surpass the siddhi.
No, he will get. That depends upon the Lord's interest actually. Sometimes he may manifest or he may not manifest. No. That means Lord may not show that you got that, and you may not be tested actually. And sometimes he may test also. But it is natural. Once the heart is purified, siddhis will start coming. Yeah. So then some neophyte yogis, they may got bewilderment from this. They will think that, yeah, because they are not able to control their mind. So mind is so, it looks like that in the in the yoga process, first is yama, niyama, asan, pranayam, pratyahar. By doing pratyahar, you are controlling all the senses. From there onwards, you will be doing dharana, dhyana, and samadhi. From dharana, you will be getting the siddhis. From the dharana, you start getting the siddhis. But if you get attraction for those siddhis, it looks like that pratyahar means what? Controlling the mind. So it looks like that we controlled our mind. But once again, so by seeing siddhis, it may get attraction. It may deviate and it may get attracted for those. So then one may fall down also. So that's why controlling mind is very difficult. But expert devotees, they can easily control. So that topic will go on in this. That he will tell in this chapter. Next. So whoever is following the disappearance of the Rishabhadev also he will discuss. Then whoever is following the Rishabhadev, they will become Pakhandis. That also you will explain. Pashandotpattir. No. You are following means after Rishabhadev, so one king came and he started the Pashanda philosophy. That means Arhat, king. Is a king of the South Indian king. He's a South Indian king, eh? Arhat. So there is a problem. Okay, then we'll see. Till 9th sloka we'll finish. Another 15 minutes and we'll go. Satyamuktam kintviha va ekena manaso adda Vishwambha manavasthanasya shata kirata iva sangachante. Actually, we can make one more question in the previous chapter. No? How the Rishabhadev's life was as a avadhut. So he was, that means people was throwing stone on him, teasing, insulting, so urinating. So like this, how he behaved. Huh? This question. Describe the Rishabhadev's lifestyle as avadhut. It will give 5 marks. Okay, so Parikshit asked that question. Why then did Rishabhadev neglect them? We made one more question. You ask him. Sri Sukadev Goswami replied, "My dear king, you have spoken correctly. However, after capturing animals, a cunning hunter doesn't put faith in them, for they might run away. Similarly, those who are advanced in the spiritual life don't put faith in the mind. Indeed, they always remain vigilant and watch." So, in the yoga process, Yamaha, Niyamaha, Asan, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dharana. Here you will get this with this. In devotional life also, so Shraddha, next, Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajan, Bhojan Kriya. And Anartha Nivritti. Like this. Here you will get Siddhis. Because once heart is purified, then Siddhis will start manifesting.
Anartha.
Is
How
a-
is the Anartha Nivritti?
Actually, this just before Anartha Nivritti, that is Taranga Rangini. Taranga Rangini. It itself actually you will get lot of different kinds of devotional outcomes. Bhaktiyutta anarthas. Bhaktiyutta anarthas you will get in the Taranga Rangini. Actually, bhajana kriya is two types. So anishtita and anishtita. This is anishtita. After doing sadhu sangha, you started doing the bhajana from nishta. This is nishtita bhajana kriya. And before this, whatever is there, this is anishtita. In this anishtita bhajana kriya, so there is a one stage, Taranga Rangini. That itself is you will be, this is Taranga, and this is your bhakti. So sometimes coming down and sometimes coming up. What are these waves? These waves are the side products of bhakti. What are that? Name, fame, so many siddhis, different. Siddhis means at least you will become a very charming person, powerful speaker, and lot of public following. All this is also one kind of siddhi. You are able to control everyone, attract everyone. Yeah, in modern life, at least this much itself can be considered as a siddhi. You are a motivational speaker, public speaker. So then, because of this, what is happening? So one who is attracted for this, so then his devotion is going down. That means because he is affected by these different side products, then what will happen? That means Bhakti Lata is growing like this, and these are the side branches, and this will become slow, and this will become big, actually, side branch. This is Bhakti Lata. Side branch become, side branches means this, name, fame. That means what? Your priorities are changing for the name, fame. That means someone, you have good crowd, then only you will go to preach them. And lot of name is involved, fame is involved, respect. Based upon that, you will be doing the preaching, whatever your devotion is being affected by this. Like you see, these waves are nothing but name, fame. Then if you, the bhakti, this bhakti is affected. Same way, the side branch will become more. It will become main, and bhakti gone. इसमें भी इंक है क्या? अच्छा, नहीं है? अच्छा. So main point is what I want to say. It looks siddhis are coming when one heart is purified. That means mind is controlled. Pratyahara means mind is controlled. Purified means not fully, but good extent. Here also anartha nivritti happened. Just before anartha nivritti, that means almost anartha nivritti stage only you will get. That means At good extent, anarthas are purified, then you'll start seeing this kind of that means in the Anishtita Bhajana Kriya, we have 4, 5, 6 levels. That's Utsahamai, Ganatarla, Virudavikalpa, next Vishaya Sangara, Tarangarangini. Then after that, Anardhanivritti and Nishta. Even in these stages also, Anarthas are being cleaned. So, but in the almost all in the top level Bhajana Kriya, that means in the Tarangarangini. So this happens. Name, fame used to get. Then still if you continue, then that anarthas should be removed by doing the strong devotion. Then you will go to the Nishta stage. So कहने की तात्पर्य ये है, almost all at the anartha nivritti stage, before just anartha nivritti stage, you will get the siddhis, different kinds of siddhis. It's kind of, that means good extent of anartha nivritti happened. That's why you got siddhis. Even you cross that, then that is known as anartha nivritti. Then your bhakti will become nishta, steady. Nishta means steady. So the point is here, what is the main point I want to say? So it looks like your mind is controlled. Anartha nivritti happened means, so almost all your mind is controlled, but you should not trust your mind. That is the point here Sukadeva Goswami is saying. Here also in the yoga process, pratyahara means mind is controlled. Anartha means his heart is clean. It looks like that. So mind is controlled, but it's not guarantee. It's not guarantee. That is the point he said. It can cheat at any time.
Put the faith in the mind in the this bhakti stage, na? So like now nishtha, ruchi, asakti, bhav. So it is said one should not put the faith in the mind.
Yes, yes.
So now question is that till which stage one should not put the faith, and after that attaining the stage
Till
one should,
ruchi. Till ruchi. In nishtha also you cannot put trust or faith in the mind. But once ruchi is awakened, then you don't need to put faith. You can put faith in.
That time mind will not cheat in ruchi stage.
It is already absorbed. It is getting taste in the Krishna Katha. So it will lead actually. Mind will lead and you will be following. Before that ruchi, so you have to lead the mind. And automatically it goes on hearing Krishna Katha. So that's why intelligent person never put faith in mind. At least till ruchi, as a devotee you should. Because, but in the case of the yoga system, dharana, dhyan, samadhi, it's dangerous. At any time it can pull you down because there is no natural attraction. It's dangerous actually in this. So that's why intelligent man never put faith in this. Mind is already controlled. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, no security. So mind is such a thing, it looks like that you are purified. That means mind is pure. Enough purification happened. And in next minute it can become impure also. If you neglect, that means if you become careless, then what will happen? Immediately it will take you on the negative things. Okay, now I did nicely japa, and for last 1 week, 1 month, I am fully so stable. You might be thinking like this. And so if you become lenient in following the strict rules, ठीक है अभी तो mind control हो गया. Yes, now my mind is controlled. Now you started watching your mobile or something, then it will struck somewhere actually. Or otherwise, night time you ate or something, so you went to such a place which is not recommended for you, but you went because you thought that it is controlled. Then immediately it will just give such a slap. You come back to zero. Okay. This will happen many times actually. In sadhaka's life, many times it happens. Mind will give such a slap, then you'll understand. I wasted my time actually. This I should not neglect it. But still you will forget. After 1-2 months, once again it will give one slap. 15 minutes. What is that? Acha, 15 minutes. Okay. 15 minutes is only for encouragement. Okay, so this will be very dangerous mind. At any time, immediately it can become impure also. At any time, mind is overcome by lust and anger, and it will make the sadhaka into fall down. Like example is given here, like a low-born person, and he is, so low-born person means whose character is not good. Now he is under the control and he is under the punishment. He will say everything, yes sir, yes sir, and he shows very nice character. And when time comes, immediately he will show his previous bad character, bad nature. So same way, this mind, which is not fully absorbed in the Krishna's pastimes, and that kind of mind can cheat at any time. Don't trust that this is already conquered. Only it is waiting for opportunity. So your mind is not agitating for last 1 month, means don't think that you are already conquered your mind.
Mind will not cheat.
Yeah.
But in mind cheat, ruchi stage, one may have their, oh, I've got ruchi, liking activity, and do months together, some bhakti, and after that, some like that, again mind cheats. So one may think like that, yeah, I got ruchi, how cheating? Because he has not developed asakti and bhava. So is it correct in ruchi stage?
At least ruchi, but further as much as you progress, then that is more safe.
Yes.
But at least ruchi is the beginning. So attraction is there. Very less chances to get the cheat, but asakti is even best. Next, tatro cha uktam na kuryat karhi chitsakyam manasi hyanavastite yadvisramba chirachirnam chaskandha tapa aishwaram. All the learned scholars have given their opinion. The mind is by nature very restless, and one should not make friend with it. If we place full confidence in it, in the mind, it may cheat us at any moment. Even Lord Shiva became agitated upon seeing the Mohini form of Lord Krishna, and Shobari Muni also fell down from the mature stage of yogic perfection. So these are the few examples. So uncontrolled mind itself is enemy, and so controlled mind can be a friend. But don't trust. We should not trust. So that's why Vaidhi sadhana. So they follow the Vaidhi sadhana bhakti. The devotees strictly they follow the prescribed rules and regulations. Why? So because if you don't follow those prescribed rules and regulations, and if you don't stress on your sadhana and think that you, as your mind, if you start doing the devotion, then it will definitely cheat. That's why we should strict enough in our regular activities. Many times devotees, they act like a Raganuga Bhakta, but actually they are not in the Raganuga Bhakti platform, but they are following their mind, their cheating mind. So many times we can see this kind of Vraj means, so we are in Vraj. So here everything is spontaneous. So prasad is spontaneous. And actually what? We are followed by the mind. But some exalted devotees, even after the 40 years, 50 years of practicing devotion, still they are very much steady in their basic sadhana. They don't leave at any cost the basic sadhana. Early morning, waking up and coming to the Mangalarati, and also doing the japa and attending the Guru Puja, and next attending the Bhagavatam class. This, whatever the schedule is there, that they strictly follow everywhere. Prabhupada disciples, you see. So, like an example, in my Guru Maharaj, even he's alone, he'll be doing all the programs, morning and evening. Alone he will sing, and alone he will do arati, everything. So this is the, because if you become lenient, then it can cheat. Mind will take the full charge. In that time, it can take the full charge. One should never neglect austerities and penances. One should always perform them. Lord Rishpadev personally showed. So us, how to do this? In Srimad Bhagavatam, it is specifically stated. Matra swasra duhitra va naiva vikta sano bhavet balavan indriya gramo vidwan api karshati. A grahastha, vanaprastha, sannyasi and brahmachari should be very careful when associating with women. One is forbidden to sit down in a solitary place, even with one's mother, sister, or daughter. In our Krishna consciousness movement, it has been very difficult to disassociate ourselves from women in our society, especially in Western countries. We are therefore sometimes criticized, but nonetheless, we are trying to give everyone a chance to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra and thus advance spiritually. If we stick to the principle of chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra offenselessly, then by the grace of Srila Haridas Thakur, we may be saved from the allurement of women. However, if you are not very strict in chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we may at any time fall victim to women. Why people will get the material attraction for women? Most of the devotees in our society, they get attraction for the women after 40 years age. They want to marry now. So because one main thing is rough and tough, they will do the preaching. And rough and tough preaching means there is no strict rules and regulations, directly handling the woman and carefully dealing her nicely, so caring her. So that caring will turn into the new form. Its new form, it will take into new form. And criticizing the devotees, they criticize other devotees left and right. Definitely they will get attraction for women. The first symptom is this. When brahmachari will fall down, and that lust is so strong, he will not understand that he is already in the disease and already in the trap. And his results are coming from his past offenses. From the heart, if you offend your other Vaishnavas, the result of other offenses is what? Bhakti nishta chavaka vastvantara abhinivesha. Whatever your bhakti, steady in bhakti is there, so that is deviated. You are deviated from that bhakti. So by what? By getting the attraction for some material things. Bhakti nishta chavaka vastvantara abhinivesha. Vastvantara abhinivesha means getting attraction for other objects. What is the most attractive thing in this whole universe? It's a woman. It's a girl, woman. Then getting attraction for the woman will be started. Then what will happen? Then then once the desire for woman is awakened in the heart, then his intelligence is completely polluted. He will see everything as right, wrong as right, and right as wrong. And he covers his material desires with the bhakti. He covers his material desires with bhakti. This we have seen so many cases. What is the need for going for the associating woman in this life? You see, till now in 5th canto, Privrat. So before he was brahmachari, and somehow by the instruction of Brahmaji, he married. Ultimately, he left or not? Did he take Barishmati with him? No. Next, Agnidra. He also felt bad. Purvachitya, unnecessarily he got the attraction. And you see, Parikshit Maharaj, did he take his wife with him? No. Dhruva Maharaj? No. And Pandavas? No. No one. Prithuma, she is actually Lakshmi itself. She is Lakshmi. And no devotee. So that means what we are understanding actually. Dhruva Maharaj went alone, and so many people think that so woman is there and woman association is needed. So if it is needed for spiritual life, they should taking her also with them. But why they left? Why they left? It is not at all. It's not at all there actually. In Bhagavatam, is there any place for practicing devotion we need woman? Like that, any one sentence is there? Show me. Is there anywhere in the one place you show me? Woman is needed. Is there? Nowhere is there. Nowhere is there. And also everywhere it is meant for living. Everyone left or not? If something is meant for living, then why you have to accept? Why you have to accept? Tell me. Is there any point in that? Is meant for living only. Then so that's why, and also on the contrary, it is condemned by the Bhagavatam to not to associate women and the people who associate women. Strictly it is avoided. And it is not at all said that for bhakti, progressing of bhakti, woman association is very much needed. If this sentence is there, then we can. You show me the one good reason. Preaching is okay. But preaching who? If you preach, brahmachari, if you preach, so then what is happening? So this Prabhupada is writing, rough and tough. If you trust your mind, and if you put faith in your mind, and if you go, then there is a great problem actually. Definitely there is a problem. So if you preach any Mataji alone, 100%, 100 to 100% there is disturbance. 100% is. New life you will get. It's must and should actually. If you neglect this rule, Whatever the rules are there, if we neglect, then we will be finished. Definitely disturbance will be there in your devotional life. So that's why Prabhupada is saying, so better in Western countries, it is sometimes it is needed, but Prabhupada is also saying that one has to do the chanting very seriously and sincerely, especially preachers. So if they don't do the attentive chanting, so definitely what will happen? The taste will not be there for the holy name, and some other taste will be attracting you. If you do fully, if you want to experiment yourself, for 1 month, you don't do chanting morning time, Brahma Muhurta time, you leave it. And you preach rough and tough to the Matajis this morning. Then you'll understand actually. Unnecessarily your attraction and attention all the time goes there only. But when you do strictly and in Brahma Muhurta time and nicely chanting, then you will not get any attraction actually. It's practical experience. You can feel. You will not get any attraction for watching this, that. You will not get any attraction for anything if you follow strictly your sadhana. But if you do offenses, but you are chanting nicely, but you are doing offenses also, then you will be getting attraction. Once again, you will get attraction. So if you don't avoid, and that's why you should always engage yourself in 24 hours devotion. Try to engage teaching, writing, and speaking, and somehow or other. Whatever your nature according to that, you should be fully engaged based upon nature. So then you'll be saved. Otherwise, so offenses we commit so much actually, so many offenses, especially our places, our temples nowadays becoming the place for doing more offenses. It's a breeding, yeah. So offenses are, it's become this club for offenses instead of cleaning. It's club because we are started seeing the many devotees. This is a crucial time when movement develops and neophytes increases in the movement. Then what will happen? Then automatically many people, that means in neophyte people will be joining with us, and they create some weak environment actually. That means disturbance, that means some kind of disturbance they will create. As much as neophytes if you associate, that means your chetana will go down actually. So standards will go down. If all are neophytes and 1 or 2 are pure devotees, then standards go down. But if more pure devotees and less, then those will be uplifted. So that's why standards are going down every day in our society, day by day. Sadhana standards, philosophical standards, in all other aspects also. Everything, food and everything, thus etiquettes. So because of this, so neophytes and problems are increasing. And it is becoming that atmosphere is prone to do more and more offenses. And then what is happening? Finish. Everywhere, so many offenses, and not sufficiently, those are clean. And then after that, getting the material attraction, and brahmacharis after 40 years, 30 years, they are living moment. They are living moment. But in some cases, very rare cases, so there is that means, so because of the Lord's super will, so there is a chance to get married. But otherwise, in general cases, it's because of offenses only. In general, because Bharat Maharaj, why he got attraction. But we cannot judge particularly, but as a society, because as a concern of the society, we are saying this. But we cannot say to any particular devotee, but he can judge himself. If someone is getting the material attraction, means he's in the disease. If you are not able to nicely relish the devotional life and feeling some that means lethargy, no enthusiasm, means already you are in In Mangalarti, you are not able to sit and chant for at least 6:30. You have a problem actually. If you are not understanding this problem and if you neglect this, then you will be definitely finished. 100%. 100%. There is no doubt you will be out from the moment after some time. There is no doubt. Because it's a science. It's a science. Because you are not cleaning with attentive japa, because we do so many offenses unknowingly also. And also because of the bad nature, which is already from the birth we got. So that same nature is proning you to commit offenses. So because of this, you are now in the risk zone actually. And if you don't understand this risk zone, and if you don't take the healthy diet, that means nice chanting, focused, strict, no hope. And even if you know the complete Bhagavatam, every verse and every line, but this attraction is so powerful because of the offenses. Whatever attraction comes, that is so powerful and it can overcome everything. Everything, and it will make you finish. Then there is no utsaha, there is no enthusiasm, there is no hope. There is no hope for your future of the devotional future, devotional life. You'll feel all the things are as a bogus. And these devotees are not good. These communities are not good. This temple is not good. Everything is nakaratmak. It will become nakaratmak. You don't see any positively, anything. And no enthusiasm for preaching also. No enthusiasm to run the mission. So movement को चलाना है, mission को चलाना है, ऐसा कुछ नहीं रहेगी. सब drowsy हो जाएगा. Then everything will be taken out from you because you are offending the Vaishnavas. So Bhakti Maharani will take away everything, whatever she gave to you. That means attraction towards her, attraction towards the Krishna, attraction towards the services, attraction towards the Vaishnavas. Everything she will take back. Ja. Now you suffer for these offenses for at least 10 lives. Then we will take care of you. And like this, she will leave you. Ja. Even you know your intelligence may work. What is the use of this bogus intelligence? It's nothing actually. So just studying this and commentaries and explaining this, what is this? It's nothing. It's simply intellectual game. But reality is what? Reality is a practice of the devotion, and the attraction for the Krishna and saving yourself from the offenses. These are very crucial actually. If these are not followed, that's why movement is becoming weak. So if we stick to the principles of chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra offenselessly, then by the grace of Srila Haridas Thakura, we may be saved. May be saved. Because there are so many reasons to get the material attraction. Because Haridas Thakur was also doing the 24 hours chanting, and he was saved from that woman. So same way, by his mercy, we can be saved. We can get definitely attraction if we do offenses. However, if we are not very strict in chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, we may at any time fall victim to woman. This is offenselessly chanting. That means strict chanting is not no strict chanting will definitely create the attraction for woman. At any time, victim to woman. This is a reason. Improper japa, that means attentive japa is not done. कम से कम 2 घंटा तो करो तो जीवन में दिन में.
Hare Krishna. It is seen externally improper japa as well as it is not seen somebody is falling down, and also seen just flourishing in preaching, other activities and movements like that. So how to understand? And it is also seen clearly chanting is not proper.
A result will come actually.
Somebody sleeping and falling down and like that, no? And so but it is going ahead, external, so much is there.
Accumulated.
And it is not like that somebody is falling down, his strict appearance, also strict also behavior in the sense. And so something how to understand.
Yeah. So I'm trying to understand your question. So that means someone is not doing the proper strict japa, but still he is not fall down. So, but actually, time will come, na? So to get maturity of the offenses. So, like you see, if you do bad karma, immediately you will not get the bad result because of maturity is not there. Maturity of the bad karma is there, then results will come. But slowly, so because of that negligence towards the holy name will cause the negligence towards the Vaishnavas, Lord, and with towards everyone. The same negligence will be causing, that means that will leading actually. This negligence towards holy name will be leading to neglect everything and offend everyone. Then slowly it will manifest actually. Then weak japa, next weak service attitude, weak not giving respect to the Vaishnavas, and seeing all the faults in the people. Slowly.
Become general, normal, chalta hai. It is okay, everything. This what you are telling, explaining, it will become like that, it will become like that. Then we see all things, and it become a standard in this normal is okay. It is no question of any anxiety, concern. This is okay. So that is
yeah. Already we are fallen down because
diluted standard means like this.
Yeah, fallen down means what here Prabhupada is writing, getting the attraction to the woman. Maybe he is not externally not married, but how can you say he's not fall down? So externally he is not. So some people are like that also. They may not go for marriage, but still their desires are arisen back, and they are like in the karmi world how they were there. So now also they are like that, but he is not visibly fallen down towards everyone, but he has already fallen down. He has fallen already. So that's why that he has to know. That individual should know. We can wear the lal saffron dress and we can exhibit ourselves as a strict devotee, but what is there in your heart? What is there? That is, one has to, the individual has to know that. Who will judge this devotee is fallen? He himself should judge. Yes. And some cases it is visible also. One become mad after one woman and so grabbing other's wife or something, which is really unethical actually. It's a gross, and doing the sex and grabbing and doing the raping. These are all very gross. This may happen, but it is also having the levels, various levels. Yes. But this is a fact. Prabhupada is writing what? If we are not going to do strict chanting, then definitely it is leading to, yeah. If you lost the taste in chanting, not able to sit, you are becoming restless. How to finish? Well, quickly finish. Finish. You are already in the danger zone. At least japa. Ek to karo sahi se. Attentive japa. It will save you from many difficulties actually. Maybe you are not able to do other things, but at least japa you do. Because it is a life for the devotion. Actually, japa is the life. Holy name is the life. This for the devotional life. It is like life. Nityam nityam dadati kamasya chidram tamanu yerayah yoginah kruta maitrasya patyurjayeva pumschali. Whenever you get the actually some material attraction, run immediately, run and take the association of so pure devotees. At least you go to the Gurudev, and at least whomever, that means you feel so as exalted devotee, and take their shelter and reveal everything and finish it, and take the immediately medicine. If you hide the disease, it will inside increase. Cancer level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. So 4 is finished, na? Not 5. 4 is out. Cancer level 4 is finished. So similarly, level 1, level 2, level 3. So inside it will be spreading, and it will become such an extent you are not able to cure, because you have to then you need to give such a great attention, because you piled up so many severe offenses. Now you need to give complete time for the only, so to destroy those 24 hours you should chant. Such a situation will come. Then what? You cannot do that. Then what will happen? You have to what is solution then? Either you should get the special mercy of the great soul, or otherwise you have to suffer for those. And by the suffering, those automatically, those offenses will not be destroyed, but the influence will be destroyed, and once again you will get the taste to chant. But as much as offenses are increasing, and you are neglecting, just to superficially staying in the moment and superficially doing the devotion, and you say, keep on increasing the everyday offenses, then what will happen? Gali dena, is devotee gali dena. So maa ka, bahan ka, this ka, so many actually nowadays. You might not be seeing now the result, but everything is counted. This is happening actually. So many people. Then disease will increase, offenses will increase such a load, and he cannot. But initially only you wake up. So because few offenses itself, you are feeling something so inconvenient. You should be sensitive enough that my devotion is now becoming weak, and now I am not so enthusiastic. Something is gadbad chal raha hai, something is going wrong. Then become alert and take the medicine quickly. Like in the body, you are seeing something abnormal, some abnormality in some limbs, maybe regularly getting some fever or some headache or this, immediately go to the doctor and get the medicine. Then it's cured quickly. Then with less pain, you will be saved. But otherwise it will be multiplied. Previous offenses will lead to do the new offenses. This is also there. Cycle. You will get the interest of the previous things. Huh? अच्छा. चलो. Next, fourth, na? Yeah. Yes. An unchaste woman is very easily carried away by a paramour, and it sometimes happens that her husband is violently killed by her paramours. because it's very dangerous. Actually, Panchachuda was describing the woman characteristics in Mahabharata to Narada Muni. Narada Muni is exalted soul, and conversation is happening between Yudhishthira and Bhishma Dev. So the conversation between the Panchachuda and Narada Muni, this conversation is discussed between among the Yudhishthira and so Bhishma Dev. Such a great people are discussing the characteristics of woman. Everyone should know. So the extent, that's the nature, how the woman nature is made and man nature is made. It's very important so that you can easily handle. It's not that to criticize someone, but if you know the danger of the tiger, when you are traveling in a forest, then you can be alert. If you don't know the dangers, what can come from the tiger, then if you think tiger is also like cat, then what will happen? It will take away your life. Similarly, if you don't understand the psychology or the nature of the woman and man, if you expect same way from the woman also as you expect from the man, and or otherwise you can feel the safety from the man, and same way if you feel safety from women, then you'll be victimized. Brahmacharis, they should know this. So that's why an unchaste woman is very easily carried away by paramour. Why this example is given? That's a yes. And it sometimes happens that her husband is violently killed by paramours. Not we are seeing in the newspaper, no, but it is a evergreen, and that means is a ever happening fact. It's ever happening. So if the yogi gives, like here is example actually, is his mind is also like a unchaste woman. If the yogi gives his mind a chance and doesn't restrain it, his mind will give facility to enemies like lust and anger and greed, and they will doubtlessly kill the yogi. Here unchaste woman is in place whom we should take uncontrolled mind. So if you don't control your wife, so generally woman nature is they want safety. So in that Panchachuda, you can also see the safety is there. If they are feeling safety from this person more, then there is a good chance to get the attraction for them also. The free mixing is there, then pollution of the mind will be there. So that's why a woman has to be nicely protected, not be victimized, but nicely protected actually. So woman has to be protected nicely from other men. Then what will happen? Then she will get, so her paramour, with that paramour, definitely they will plan to kill the man. So now paramour case, you should take whom? In the place of paramour, whom you should take? Lust, anger, greed. And in the husband place, yourself. Yogi or yourself. Okay, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to say that in the morning, our first business should be to beat the mind with shoes 100 times. And before going to bed, beat the mind 100 times with a broomstick. In this way, one's mind can be kept under the control. An uncontrolled mind and an unchaste wife are the same. An unchaste wife can kill her husband at any time, and an uncontrolled mind followed by lust, anger, greed, and madness, envy, and illusion can certainly kill the yogi. When the yogi is controlled by the mind, he falls down into the material condition. One should be very careful of the mind, just as a husband should be careful of an unchaste wife. If that means in that it is given, if husband is nicely taking care, giving the food and giving the nice jewelry, sari, house, everything. But if woman in coming in contact and for 2 days, man is coming, so nicely carrying her some other man and giving gifts and speaking such a sweet way, then she will start getting attraction for him. This is the nature of the woman. Your woman also should know this. She should be careful in avoiding the other men to mix with her. Men should know and women also should know. It's not the something, oh, woman is now here mistreated. No. Why it is there in the Mahabharata? Because to understand the fact and respectively should take the actions. Very easy. That is the nature of the, like the nature of the dog is what? Is showing the faith. What is the nature of the tiger? Is ferocious, killing. So similarly, it's the nature of that psycho nature of the psychophysic nature of the woman. So that one has to make the social rules based upon the nature. So no free mixing, these conditions, that condition. Leaders has to know. Women also should know that. So that she will not be cheated by someone. If she doesn't know this, then next. Kamo manyurmado lobha shokamoha bhayadaya karma bandascha yanmulaha svikuryat konu tad buddha. The mind is the root cause of the lust, anger, pride, greed, lamentation, illusion, and fear. Combined, these constitute bondage to fruitive activity. What learned man would put faith in the mind. So that means any learned man should not trust or put faith in his mind. Next. Ataevam akhila loka pala lalamopi vilakshanaihi jadavat avaduta vesha bhasha charitaihi avilakshita bhagavat prabhavo yoginam samparaya vidim anusikshayan swakalevaram jihasur atmanyatmanam sam vyavahitam anarthantara bhavena anvikshamana uparatanuvrittir upararama. So that's why, because Rashbadev doesn't want to trust his mind. So otherwise, on the name of the devotion also, we accept so much luxurious life and facilities and enjoyment, and we think that it is for preaching I am doing, but inside is there strong desire for material enjoyment, and outwardly you simply exhibit that, oh, this is a bogus. Really, we should check ourselves whether you have hankering for the many things, luxuries, basic necessities, okay. Then the tendencies are there, then you don't have taste for the bhakti. So that one has to know himself. Nobody is there to judge you. So you should judge yourself. Lord Rishabhadev was head of all kings and emperors within this universe, but assuming the dress and language of an avaduta, he acted as if dull and materially bound. Consequently, no one could observe his divine opulence. He adopted this behavior just to teach yogis how to give up the body. Nonetheless, he maintained his original position as plenary expansion of Lord Vasudeva Krishna. Remaining always in that state, he gave up his pastimes as Lord Rishpadev within the material world. If following in the footsteps of Lord Rishpadev, one can give up this subtle body, there is no chance that one will accept the material body again. So that's why, because of seeing the dangers of this mind, Avadut, Surashpadev accepted Avadut, and he was behaving like a dull and dumbo. Otherwise, so people start giving the respect and giving the day a lot of respect and place, position. Then he started once again, I am the leader of this project. I am the manager of this project, and this, that. Once again, same will waking up. So that for the preaching, our people, they accept position, but one should be careful about this. So even great devotees, they left the position, but still we are given with the position, means how much alert you should be. That should be noted. So finally, in this Vesha, he is going to give up his body. That is explained in the 7 and 8. Shall we finish this? Another 7 minutes is there. Okay, 2:45 will leave. 2:45. Okay. Huh? Huh? Wind up, huh? Why? Prasad service. Huh? Huh? Wind up, huh? Okay, wind up. Okay. So this is the last sloka. So any questions? No questions? Okay. Remaining slokas will discuss Monday, tomorrow. Thank you very much for your kind and patient time. Tomorrow we'll finish 6 and 7 both 2 chapters. That will be the target. 14 plus remaining whatever this 12, 14 plus 26, 7, and then we'll start our Jad Bharat Maharaj story from Tuesday. Akshay Tritiya, Jad Bharat Maharaj. It's very nice. Okay, thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.